Hi, this is Mr. Spencer with some information on updating your Educational Development Plan, or your EDP. Each year you do have to update the plan, and that goes right on through grade 13. So a little bit of information about it, and then I'll explain how you can update and submit it. It really should not take you too long, although it should be done thoughtfully because it is important, as you'll see. The P, of course, in EDP stands for plan. And really, in all seriousness, the more thoughtful, the more informed your plan is, that's going to result in you achieving your goals much more likely. I know that you guys have been developing EDPs each year. In some cases, it started in 8th grade, but definitely in the high school. Each year, most of you had to log into Career Cruising and identify some careers, research some careers, research some possible colleges in the future for you. The idea behind the EDP is that you would then take classes that would help you get to that post-secondary, that college and career goal. Okay, so that's the idea behind it. As a middle college student, you guys started your college career actually in 11th grade, and we've been working with you on trying to choose classes as early as 11th grade that will help you when you move on, in many cases, to a four-year university starting next year. For those of you who are in your final year of the middle college, some of you are in 11th or 12th grade that may be viewing this. But thoughtful, informed planning is key to achieving your goals. And this may sound obvious, but it is important. Clear goals are key to achieving your goals too. If you don't have clear goals in mind, then there's no way you can come up with a plan to achieve them. You can do some general things which can still benefit you. For example, completing requirements for the Michigan Transfer Agreement. Then that's going to, pretty much ensure that you're going to get the general education requirements done, or 1 year's worth of courses at a university transferring from the middle college. But if you want that second year to transfer in, saving you tens of thousands of more dollars and another year of time, then you want to have very specific goals on what program you want to pursue and what possible universities you're going to go to, and then you can make the best decisions. All of you are near the end of your high school experience. Our grade 13 students are actually, you could almost say, beyond the traditional high school 12th grade. So updating your EDP should be easier and quicker. On the other hand, it shouldn't be done necessarily quickly just to get it out of the way. If you look at the various sections, and there's not that many of them, and can't really answer one well, maybe it's time to just take a step back and think more before you just write something down and send it in. Okay? The state of Michigan requires all high school students to have and update an educational development plan every year throughout from 9th grade on. Actually, they now are requiring middle school students to begin the EDP process. But they do it because it's that important. Again, having a plan, whether you want to go to work, join the military, go to a university, whatever it is, it's important to, if you know that goal, to know what it takes to get there and try to take steps now to help you get there sooner and with less cost and expense. And if you really don't know what you want to do, that's understandable too, but having to look at and reflect on the contents of an EDP makes it, it helps you, again, identify goals and clarify goals, okay? Last spring, our students who were in 11th or 12th grade submitted a degree planning 101 sheet where you identified what degree you were pursuing, and you looked at your English and math placement status and things like that. And we also had you reflect on the career you were interested in, so on. So that was kind of like information that would be part of an EDP. You submitted that sheet. We have copies of them. We will be scanning them and sending them out to students, but you want to think about what you might have put. That was 6 months ago or more. Is it still accurate? Has anything changed? Does it still reflect your goals? And then today, or in the days following after viewing this, you must complete a final update to your EDP. And it's final for our grade 13 students only. If you're an 11th or 12th grader watching this video, then it will be an update, but not your final one. Okay? So a little bit about this. Let me see why. Oh, wait, hold on. Not sure where the image went there, but on this, I'm going to keep going with this video here. The sections where the arrows are pointing is basically the part on the sheet that you will be emailed a copy of or can pick up. Basically is saying list careers that interest you. And there's, I think, 5 lines, and I say on over to here it says list at least 3. And the reason we do that, even if you know you want to be a mechanical engineer or a pathologist or whatever it is, it's really pretty likely that you're not going to stay in that career, or may not even end up starting in that career. I hate to say it, but people change their minds. So try to put at least 3 different career options down, and who knows, that third one might be the one that you end up doing. The next section down here that's not showing up, and I'm not sure why, I must have accidentally deleted the images, but it asks about universities or colleges that you're interested in. And again, I think there's 5 lines, but I want you, if you're going to a university, that's great, then put down whichever ones you're interested in. Wayne State, Michigan State, Alabama, whatever, that's fine. Those are 4-year colleges. But it's okay to put 2-year colleges. It's okay to put SC4. Maybe you want to transfer on into their radiologic technology program at SC4, which would be great. Put that down. It's okay. These do not have to be 4-year schools. We have students every year that enlist in the military. So put down the branch of the military you might be interested in. Maybe you're interested in a trade school. So you are going to be an apprentice and work in the electronics as an electrician in that industry. Put that down. It does not have to be a typical traditional college or university here. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, so here's an image that I wanted to show you. There's a section on the sheet called Michigan Career Pathway Recommendations. There's 3 lines. I'd like you to put 2 down at least. You don't have to do 3. Career pathways are broader than careers. So with this column on the left right here that I'm circling with the mouse lists the Michigan career pathways. So these are the ones we want you to write in the lines above, whichever apply. The column to the right is a federal list from the U.S. Department of Education, and these are just, people have an idea of grouping careers together. But what this list on the right helps, if you're unsure where your career might fall, let's say, for example, you want to work for a hotel chain so you can travel the world and stay at these hotels or whatever, then you can see over here that hospitality and tourism falls under the business management, marketing, and technology career cluster. Okay, the human services is one that actually encompasses a lot. If you look over to the right, teachers, trainers, whatever that type of training it might be. Human services like the family, helping families who are struggling, criminal justice, public safety, and so on. So politics, public service would be in this one here. So that's a lot of human services. Health sciences would be the more medical fields and so on. Okay, so choose at least 2. And again, this may help you down the road. And you're saying, well, I put down accounting as what I wanted to do, but you know what? I really kind of like the idea too of working outside and maybe in the natural resources field. So that may be something you go to later. Okay, a few more helpful things on these other sections, and it's just a 2-sided document. It says level of education required. You may not have your degree planning sheet, but you were asked to research that for that. So if you don't know what level of education is required to be a physical therapist, for example, now is the time to find out. At the very least, you can put unknown, but you really, before turning this in, you should do a little research, and we can help with that. So if you're unsure where to find out, contact me, contact any of us. You can just actually Google what level of education to become an accountant, and you'll find the information. Okay? The learning style is hopefully something that you now have a pretty good grasp on now that you've had many college courses if you're 12th or 13th grade students. And so these terms may be a little different to you or new to you, but an auditory learner learns more by hearing. So if you can just have a good instructor that lectures well and you just stay engaged and listen, you can learn the material. Others need to go back and read it, see it on a slide, bullet points, whatever it is. That'd be more of a visual learner. And if you're a learner that really learns best by getting in there, whether it's taking something apart or actually, let's say it's dissecting in biology or anatomy, And there's not as many experiences where you actually learn by doing, but more and more courses do what they call project or problem-based learning. So in effect, you're really getting in there and learning as you solve real-world problems. So that might be more of a tactile learner. And then a section on career planning activities. Some students ask, well, what is that? These are some examples you might have done or maybe will do. If you've met with an SC4 advisor specifically about careers and use some of their tools, that is a career planning activity. In college success class, you did some research into Plan A and Plan B careers. That's a career planning activity. Taking it to a higher level, maybe you've job shadowed and visited a friend or family members at their workplace. That's a career planning activity. And even just Googling information on your potential career. What does a industrial engineer do? And you can find a lot of good information that way, and that's a career planning activity. The career and life goals is really, they can be broader than just career, because you've put that in a lot of places on this sheet, but maybe you want to live out west, or have a family, or live out more in the outdoors or something like that. It's just good to kind of be aware of those types of things to see how well they mesh with what you want to do. And then finally, there's a section on skills and abilities. And really, it's just a kind of a reflection on what are your strengths. Do you do well in math? Do you do well in writing? Do you have mechanical abilities? Maybe you haven't been able to show that in your classes here at SC4, but if you are good at taking things apart and putting them back together, that may help you down the road in an engineering program or something like that. Maybe you like to work with animals, okay? So those are some pieces of the actual form. When you're all done, you're going to sign and date it at the bottom, and hand it in with not in this case, you won't have your degree planning sheet, so ignore this part right here, but you're going to hand in your EDP. There's going to be a couple of ways you can do it. So after viewing this video, along with the email link, you're going to see an attachment with the EDP form in Word format and as a PDF. Either one of those you can print and write in by hand your responses. That's fine. If you write it in by hand, then you need to drop the form off in the Middle College office. Okay, we want the original form. If you download the Word version and type in your responses in the text boxes that you'll see in the sections, you can do that. Just save it with your name, like Pete Spencer, EDP, and you can email that back to Miss Weimer. She's gathering all the EDPs. So there's two ways of submitting it, but if you write it in by hand, you've got to drop the form off in the Middle College office. Okay? And let us know if you have questions on this. Do the best job you can. Really put some thought into it, and do some research ahead of time if you need to before completing it. Okay? Thank you.